All right, guys, what's going on? SteelTwins back at you with a 3-round mock draft.
Yeah, man. Now, this could be considered one of our biggest mocks to date. Honestly, one that I find very realistic, very possible, and with the recent news of today, February 19th of 2019, I feel like that both instances could very well happen. Honestly, so. Honestly, let's get into the Antonio Brown news, man. As you guys know, we made a video about Antonio Brown in the latest. Ever since then, he's been blabbing, you know, if your team has guaranteed money and they want to get to know me and they want me to play there or whatever, then tell them to hit me up and everything. It's like Antonio Brown thinks that he decides where he wants to go. He thinks he's a fucking free agent and he can decide what team he wants to go to. In reality, he still has 3 years under the Steelers contract. It's the Steelers specifically that that decide where he goes, honestly.
Right, exactly.
And now he wants him to be called Mr. Big Chest.
Whatever that means. Literally, I have no idea what that means.
Antonio Brown might have,
if any of you guys know what that means, please inform us in the comments below.
Antonio Brown might have just seriously lost his mind, honestly. But today, he did have his meeting with Mr. Art Rooney II, obviously the Steelers owner and everything. And he tweeted this about 2 hours ago. Had a great meeting with Mr. Rooney today. We discussed a lot of things and we cleared the air on several issues. We both agreed that it is time to move on, but I'll always have appreciation and gratitude towards the Rooney family and Steelers organization. Hashtag call God. Hashtag booming. So it's official, folks. They have gone on good terms, or they have decided to part on good terms. They had, I'm assuming it was a pretty productive meeting, talk, and everything. And they have decided, hey, it's time to move on. It's time that, you know, we go our separate ways, you know. So they have agreed that they will discuss on the trade. Antonio Brown and his agent are not allowed to speak with any teams. So it is completely up to the Steelers and everything to decide where he goes. The Steelers, and I believe Kevin Colbert was there as well. So they have agreed that they will start working on a trade, and it's going to be pretty interesting to see what they do in the next coming weeks, man. So the new league starts in about 2-3 weeks, so it's going to be very interesting to see where he goes, you know, with the rumors, you know, where he could go, where he might go and everything. So I don't know. It's going to be a pretty big next month, honestly. It's going to be very interesting. It's going to be pretty exciting, pretty intensifying, honestly. So Antonio Brown has pretty much played his last down in Pittsburgh. He is officially done. There is no doubt in my mind that he is completely being traded. They have agreed to move on. He is being traded. When? Where? We don't know yet. That will be determined in the next month, but he is officially done in Pittsburgh. And I'm not going to lie, it saddens and hurts me to see him go like this. Like I said, I always thought that he would retire at 35 years old, you know, with the fairy tale ending, with the beautiful story, you know, kind of like the Larry Fitzgerald story, you know. But unfortunately, it's not coming to that. And unfortunately, it has to come to this. You know, someone that has done so much for this team, someone that has brought so much production, so much fun memories to this team. It sucks to see him go like this, but
like a guy coming out of the 6th round
yes,
from a very little-known college.
Yes, and you know, just building his way up through great plays and great moments, and seeing the player he is today, man. You know, it's phenomenal. You know, I give Antonio Brown all the credit in the world for being the player that he has become, and it sucks it's coming to this, but you know,
so
this is all they're doing to one man, though.
Yeah.
I don't know what changed him. I don't know what happened with his attitude or his ego or his, you know, his mindset or how he thinks the locker room.
Or his lifestyle, really.
Yeah, I don't know what changed, man. Maybe Burfict did fuck up his mind. Maybe Burfict did give him CT. Who fucking knows, man?
What would that be in the case, Brown? As much as I hate your drama shit, as much as I hate how you do in your personal life,
as much as I hate your ego,
I will forever. Me and my brother will forever be thankful for what you did in a Pittsburgh Steelers uniform.
We are forever grateful for a phenomenal and exciting 9 years. It sucks to see you go like this, but it had to happen. We had to go our separate ways. Antonio Brown, thank you, but good riddance. Honestly, seriously.
So with that being the case, let's get into the mock draft. The Steelers transition tag Le'Veon Bell.
Because today is, and I believe teams have 2 weeks to do this. today is the first day, the official start of where teams can franchise tag and transition tag players. Le'Veon Bell is obviously one of those guys that has been, thrown around throughout the news, throughout the media for the past week, or for the past month, really, that we could transition tag him and we could trade him. Now, honestly, I don't mind transition tagging him, honestly, because it's a win-win. Either we transition tag him, he signs the tag, and we trade him, or we keep him. I would kind of be up for keeping him, but Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell have just been both massive distractions. They both need to go, honestly.
Exactly.
So either we transition tag him, he signs him, and we trade him, or we transition tag him, he doesn't sign, and he sits out another year. Win-win, if you ask me.
Yeah, really. So with that being the case, especially since reports are coming out saying that Steelers could very well transition tag him just to trade him, which I'm fine with.
Which I'm incredibly fine with.
Yeah, so
I would still love to get some value out of him. Now, if we don't transition tag him, I believe we could still get the third round compensation pick next year. But if we can somehow transition tag him and get something a little higher, then I'm all for it.
Absolutely.
Go for it. He just turned 27, I believe, yesterday.
Yeah.
Go for it.
So we transition tag Le'Veon Bell, and then we trade Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown together to the Oakland Raiders for the 24th and 27th overall pick. They're 2 first-round picks.
Because the Raiders obviously have 3. They have the 4th overall pick, the 24th and 27th. So we transition tag Bell, and like you said, we trade Bell and Antonio Brown to the Raiders for their final 2 first-round picks. Now, you guys could say, why don't we try to get the 4th overall pick? I would like to try, but I just doubt it. I doubt the Raiders are going to give up a pick that early, especially when they desperately need pass rush help, defensive line help. So they're definitely going to keep that 4th pick. And if we get the 24th, 27th pick, I'm not complaining. It's still 2 extra first-round picks.
Exactly.
For Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown. You guys may say that Antonio Brown is worth a first-round pick himself. Some of them may say that the most we could get is a second-round pick, up to maybe at least a 4th-round pick. So if we combine both of them, I feel like we can definitely get 2 first-round picks out of it.
And they fill needs for Oakland. The Raiders desperately need a number 1 receiver, and they need a rushing game to take pressure off Derek Carr.
And the thing with the Raiders is that they have the money to give. They have what Bell wants in terms of money, and Brown apparently wants guaranteed money, so the Raiders have it too, so they can give the money to those 2 players. So.
And the Raiders are one of those teams that really just take any kind of drama, really.
Right.
They just like talented players.
Right. Now, the only negative of the trade is that we trade them within our conference. But the thing is, we don't face the Raiders this year, and the Raiders are pretty awful. Now, you guys may debate Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown can make them a good team, could help them a little bit. Honestly, I still feel like their defense is atrocious. So, even if they get Bell and Brown, I doubt there'll be anything. I mean, offensively, I'm sure they'll be great, but defensively, I don't think there'll be much. So, with that being said, I don't really see them making the playoffs, or even if they do, I don't see them getting far or close or anything. So, that's the way I see it. The only time we would have to face Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown is if the Raiders make the playoffs, which I doubt is going to happen massively. Right. So, that's just me.
Now, this trade could happen. It could not happen, especially with how Bell is aging. How running backs have short careers. And Turner Brown has drama issues, and he's 31.
Right, but I'm sure
he'll be turning 31.
But I'm sure John Gruden and Mike Mayock would love to have these 2 talents.
Right. Plus, they've done dumber shit. Like they traded away Khalil Mack.
Yeah.
So shit, anything can happen.
Yeah, seriously. With John Gruden's demented mind, old mind, who fucking knows, man. And of course, the Steelers and the Raiders have had communications with trades in the past. We traded Martavis Bryant for a 3rd-round pick, which we used to go get Mason Rudolph, and we obviously traded for Ryan Switzer, who was traded from the Cowboys to the Raiders. So, we have that little history there. So why don't we combine with another trade and try to get 2 first-round picks, honestly.
Exactly.
That's just me.
So with the 20th pick, the pick that we got,
correct,
we select Devin White, inside linebacker at LSU.
Yes, we obviously need inside linebacker. Now, honestly, I feel like corner is a much bigger need than inside linebacker. No doubt. Honestly, I feel like we can wait for inside linebacker in the 2nd or 3rd round because there's many talents that we could definitely get in the 2nd or 3rd round. Jermaine Pratt, T.J. Edwards, maybe Devin Bush. What's his name? Terrell Hanks. There's many guys that Khalil Hodge. There's many guys that we can get in 2nd and 3rd round that would be perfect fits for the inside linebacker position for us. And honestly, that would give us the freedom and the opportunity and the flow to go get corner with the 20th pick. That is if we don't have an extra 1st round pick. But if Devin White is there at number 20, I still feel like it's a no-brainer. Someone that is a top 10, in my opinion, top 5 pick. If he's there at your pick at number 20, if he drops somehow, I think it's a no-brainer.
Exactly. I mean, people are comparing this guy to Patrick Lewis. They're going as far as saying he's the next Ray Lewis.
Damn.
They're going as far as that. This guy is going to be a stud no matter what team it goes to.
Yes. Now, he does have his little issues here and there, but he is still a fucking great player. He's fast. He's great in coverage. He's a great tackler, run stuffer, everything that we could use at inside linebacker position that Vince Williams and John Bostic don't really have, which is speed and covering ability.
Exactly.
So,
and a desperate need for the Steelers defense.
Absolutely. Now, with the 24th pick, one of the Raiders' first-round picks, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Byron Murphy, cornerback out of Washington. I actually think Byron Murphy will last to 24. Honestly, if he lasts past 20, I can honestly see the only team I could see taking him, if he doesn't last any farther, is probably the Eagles at 25, and I think that's why we steal him at 24 before the Eagles can pick him. So, now the Eagles could get safety, they could get defensive linemen or whatever, but I feel like corner is a big need for them, especially since they're losing Ronald Darby more than likely. So, but with the 24th pick, I think that's where we can get Byron Murphy, cornerback out of Washington, of course, because we obviously need corner. Like I said, it's the biggest need, and if Byron Murphy's still there, no doubt in my mind, man, he just reeks of an old school Steelers defensive back, man. His physicality, his speed, his covering ability, his ball hawkness, if that's even a fucking term, his tackling. I mean, this guy has all the makings to be another great Steelers defensive back.
Exactly.
He just has all the tools, all the upside, all the makings in the world to be another great defensive back for this organization, and one that we really haven't had in a while.
Exactly. Seriously.
So yeah. Now with the 27th pick, the Raiders' second round, or technically the third round pick, the Pittsburgh Steelers select N'Keal Harry, wide receiver out of Arizona State. We would obviously need to replace Antonio Brown. Now you guys could say we could put Ryan Switzer in the slot, maybe resign Eli Rogers, put him in the slot, maybe go sign Golden Tate, which hey, I would be up for any of them. But why not? But depending on who's on the board at 27, and honestly, I mean, I can see the Steelers being a little more open in free agency compared to all the other past seasons. But going receiver, if anything, I can see them getting depth receiver, maybe a special teams guy. Or
yeah, if we don't sign Hayward Bay or stuff like that.
Right, so, and now depending on who's on the board at 27, we could go tight end maybe. We could go guard. We could go outside linebacker, defensive end, depending on who's on the board. But in my opinion, with that pick, because that gives us all the freedom, because we fixed two of our main needs, which is inside linebacker and corner. So that gives us the freedom to go any pick, and honestly, with the 27th pick, we can go best player available, and if he's there, which I can see him being there, is N'Keal Harry, who is a fucking monster. This dude is this guy will be a fucking stud in the league, man. He is 6'4". He's not too fast, but he can definitely he could definitely work on his speed a little bit. But I really wouldn't underestimate it. His yards after catch is crazy. His hands are phenomenal. He can definitely get up and get them 50-50 balls, man. This guy has all the tools to be a hell of a receiver. Ben loves them receivers, man. And just to keep that receiving core young with that rushing game, I mean, I think it's a nice picture to paint, seriously,
exactly,
for this offense, seriously. So, now with the 52nd pick, our second round pick, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Connor McGovern, guard out of Penn State. Ramon Foster, I don't know if we're going to resign him. I would be completely open to resigning him, but he is about to turn 34, 33. I believe 34, correct me if I'm wrong. So
nonetheless, he is getting old. He is getting up there with age, and we need to keep this offensive line young.
Yes. Now, Ramon Foster is a very reliable guard, in my opinion, but he is getting older. And I believe this past season, he did say something about the Steelers need to pay me or something, give me my guarantee money, or something along those lines, man. He was saying something about getting his money or getting paid or something, which, I mean, he deserves it, honestly. Ramon Foster is a very underrated guard in this league. He's very reliable, especially in the rushing game, but, we, like you said, we want to keep our offensive line young, and Connor McGovern could arguably be considered one of the best guards in the draft this year.
One of the best offensive linemen in the draft, in my opinion. This
Yeah.
guy's a freak. He's got great size. He's very strong. He's pretty quick for his size as well.
Very flexible as well. Very agile. He can play center. He can play left guard, right guard. So he's very versatile. We know Steelers love them versatile linemen. So we can put him anywhere on the inside of the offensive line or the interior offensive line.
This guy's
and could produce.
Yeah, this guy's like tremendous in the run block, and that's how Saquon was able to get so many yards in Penn State.
Indeed. So
and he's a very reliable pass blocker too.
Yeah. So I mean, if he's there in the second round, which I can see him dropping because, there are teams that need tackles and guards and offensive linemen. especially in the first round. But I could definitely see Connor McGovern possibly lasting to the second round, honestly, in my opinion. And, you know, we really have no, because, like I said, Ramon Foster might be on his way out of Pittsburgh. B.J. Finney, I would definitely resign him to at least a 1, 2, 3 year extension, honestly, because he's been a very reliable backup. And honestly, you know, outside of that, we don't really have anyone at left guard, you know, because we have David DeCastro on the other side, and we don't really have much depth, honestly. So now will we get him for depth? And if we would sign B.J. Finney, I would love to see him and Connor McGovern going at it for the possible left guard position, honestly.
Right.
You know, Connor McGovern is more of a right guard, but like I said, he's very versatile. He can play center or left guard or whatever. So, and with Sean Serrett, I'm sure that he can move him around and definitely work him out with the left guard. So.
Yeah.
And with the 83rd pick, our third-round pick, and yes, you guys can tell by the title, this is a 3-round mock. I understand we need to specify that at the beginning of the video.
I did.
Oh, did you?
3-round mock, yes.
Well, I wasn't paying attention. My bad. With the 83rd pick, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Isaac Nada, tight end out of Georgia, man. This is someone we're really big on, someone we consider very underrated. Unfortunately, the Bulldogs didn't utilize him in their offense enough, and he wasn't able to showcase enough. But I hope that in the combine, man, he can definitely showcase his speed and what he truly is. And, you know, every time he got the ball in Georgia, man, magic happened, in my opinion. You know, great hands. He has some very good speed, honestly. You know, obviously great size, great body. He actually has some decent body control. And his yards after catch is very nice as well. You know, he's a very tough runner as well. So I feel like this guy could apply depth at tight end position. And he's a very good blocker too. So you know the Steelers love them blocking tight end. So we can bring him in as a blocker, but he can eventually develop into a nice receiving tight end, of course. So anyway, guys, that is our 3-round mock, man. Let us know your guys' thoughts, comments below, and we should be back with another mock. If not later this week, probably next week, because like I said, in our last mock, I think that our schedule for the mocks is going to be at least one a week and every Wednesday. I understand that this is on Tuesday, but because of the news that came out, we just had to get this mock out on Tuesday. But I think that our mocks from now on is going to be every Wednesday or so. So I guess you guys could definitely look forward to that. Otherwise, let us know your guys' thoughts, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you later.
Peace!